stuff. Alright, my stream's a little unstable here. Let's get that stable. Hello everyone, welcome to another Scrap Mechanic. I just fired up my computer, so it's probably just trying to get warmed up here, so please bear with me. Alright, so today we're going to work on trap number 2. So we're going to get this to look exactly like the trap on the other side. And hopefully I can remember. I've been off for like about 4 days since my last stream, so been playing other games lately because I just wanted to play something different. Get my mind off this a little bit. Get re-inspired, so on and so forth. Oh, it's really laggy today. Get this worked out a little bit. You know, you think I would have just, it wouldn't have been as bad once I got all the trucks in here, but for some reason it's just gross today. I wonder why that is. Maybe something's loading in. Truck. I have no idea what it is. Oh, it's a little bit that. This thing operates so bizarrely. Sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so what do we got? So I'm gonna need put all those away. Now, definitely gonna need those. We're gonna have to fully upgrade them as well. Yeah, this could also just be an OBS problem. The stream seems to be running okay from what I see. It also could be other things. Alright, let's see. Pop that in there. So I'm also thinking of have to think of like more incentive for bots to fall in here too. So this one won't be a problem because like it'll probably be just about one piston for a push in there. Thinking this one's probably going to be at least 2, possibly 3 for a piston push in there. So we'll see. Oops. Get these chests down here too. Because we are going to need those component kits. Perfect. Double. Sweet. Add all these boxes down here too. Perfect. I got fully upgraded ones here, so that's good. Okay. I'm also thinking about how, like, I do want to use this kind of like ledge right here as a way to push. Like, they'll naturally fall. As soon as they hit this, they'll just naturally stumble into here. So we really should use this to our full advantage when we're doing this. See. That would be okay. We should really close this as well, because don't want things flying all over the place. Think about that. Okay. Cute. Alright, I think we finally got our stream a little bit more stable. Because I'm just looking in the corner. How stable is it? Pretty good now. So that's not bad. That might have been partial of the problem. That problem with the things touching other things problem, which is, I think, is kind of a weird reason why things don't work. And I'm not really too concerned about these either. I do, however, am thinking of covering this up because I don't want to naturally fall in here. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to have to make another trap where I'm going to have to use sensors right here to do the pull the carpet. I might do that for later. I think I just keep this temporary for now. We'll worry about that. Yeah, it's a lot of concrete. But if you have the right tools, getting a lot of concrete is not that hard. Plus, I have the this chemical pond there, and then I have water on the other side. So making concrete right here and then flipping it in there, not a problem. All right, let's work on this trap, I guess. To think about. Okay, so stops. Out. So that's how wide the trap has to be. Middle 3 better for, well, middle 3 would be harder to get. If you look at the crafting recipe, right? You only have to use like 2 metal, right? And then like 15 metal 2 blocks. So in the long run, you would trying to make this all metal 3 would take forever, and not to mention trying to collect all that metal would be harder. So you're not being resourceful with it, right? So I'm utilizing as much as I can. I got a lot of blocks on me for now, but I am starting to diminish, and I'm going to have to eventually get more stuff eventually. Have to go mining or whatever we Us scrap mechanic people refer to it as. Those. You know, the sad thing is I forgot how I made that trap over there. Now I'm gonna have to relearn it. Which is like, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, because I remember having to put this and then staggering it, I think. Do I have a switch? No, I don't have a switch. My testing switch. Left it up in this one. Have a switch. Where do my switches go? Where are you at, switch? You. Yeah, I'm just getting this switch so I can figure out how far this will go on max. And whether or not I have to use a second one. I might have to use a second one. Hopefully I will not. Because honestly, who wants to count? I don't want to have to count all this. Yeah, you're gonna have to need a second one. Back. Looks like. I don't think we'll have to use a full one. Shorten that up. More. Okay, perfect. Right. I don't think I can make that any shorter. I think I figured out the other reason why I made this trap shorter than it's supposed to be, because this thing gets in the way. So I think that's the maximum that we can make this. That's why I did it that way. Now I remember. Here. Can't make it that big, unfortunately. Yeah, this one being my main base, I kind of want to put as much to it as possible. So okay. That looks okay. Maybe I could probably bring this back one. Thinking. Make it the most efficient way. Do this. There's my other switches. Let's just put those all together. Okay. Do I have any more bricks? No. Of course I don't have any. Yes. Beauty. All right. Awesome. I need. For tote bots. Tote bots and hay bots. Okay, that was short enough as it is. Let's reduce. That is about that high, I think. Actually, I wonder. Yeah, I might actually be able to get away. Maybe not. We might have a contact problem with this. If this was higher, we'd just go over this, but then it wouldn't sense any of the bots. It's away for now. All right. Yeah, and then I have to. There's gonna be one that's gonna sense underneath it, and then there has to be one kind of on top. Really, these sensors have to be right about there. There. It's gonna be about 3. See how that works. Logic. Simplicity, knowledge of logic. Really is our brains are the operator. Think about it. Here. So, let's see how far we can do this. I don't think we can get away with 20 because this one's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think the maximum we could do is 9. Unless, no, I don't want to. I don't want to make this trap bigger. Then it just means I have more things I have to spread out on, and they won't compact each other. And we have to change this to. Yeah, push me in. What? Let's go get Justin Bieber over here. Also, this is going to make an opportunity to make good decking up here too, as well, so I can attack from the top. This is more like a trap for K-bots and whatnot. But if I have like tape bots, they're gonna probably spawn right over there or there. They're always kind of like off to the side. They never attack straight on, I've noticed. I thought that's kind of interesting. Beauty. You go. Okay. Oh, every other. Actually, we can go 9. 1, 2, right about there. Did I do every 2 or every 1? It was every 2. 3 is too wide. 2, 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna have to need 4 low-level sensors for that. I think I'll keep all these high-tier sensors for other things. I still have this side to collect, and I still have to build the turrets on the side, on the corners. So I see free metal over there. Should probably grab that. Seven. That's fine. Give me that metal back. Now, how high do that? Oh yeah, and I had it back a bit, so I didn't have to see the wheels all the time. I think the hardest part that I'm gonna have to think about is trying to keep this hidden. I think that'll be the hardest part of this build. Right. Even if we see a little bit of it, I don't think that's that big of an issue. We'll think about that too. Go up. And now I have bearings. I don't remember where I put the bearings. It might be up here. Nope. Kind of astonished how many of the sensors I've made. But for a build that kind of relies on itself, not that bad. Oh. It's here. Here. Butte. That looks good. I think that looks really good. Hmm. Here. I stupid thing. Eh, that should probably work. Oh, slow on the comeback there. And I think that's just because these are low level. Oh, I went to top speed. Kind of worried about that rubbing up on this. Did I have that more back? No, I had it rubbing up like that. Oh yeah, and we have to have something to stabilize it. That's why that was there. You gotta think about that too. All right. Come down. 1, 2, 3. That should probably do it. Yeah. Okay. I think most people would have put another tire there or something, but it's that collision thing. That's probably why my place is so laggy, but definitely the lag has subsided since I've moved all my vehicles off the premises. Now, do I have any? Okay, got a couple here. Four of those bad boys anyway. Oops. I think I'll get this trap done and then I'll probably work on an auto picker. I think that's another thing I really wanted to kind of do. Like, I'm not going to make it an auto farm. I think I've decided that. I think that's a chapter 2 thing for myself because I think it's going to be a lot easier to auto farm. I think once we get timers and like proper clocks and stuff. So I think a lot of people are going to have to relearn how to make an auto farm because there will be more efficient ways of doing it. Four. How much width do I have? 2, 6, 6. I think the other sensor is a maximum of 4, but that's okay. Kind of almost need like something to knock people in this way. I feel if something is like right here or attacking right here on this corner, like this thing is obviously not going to push them, and I'm going to have to defend it myself eventually. And I don't know what to do with that one. I'm thinking of having a bearing and then like something that shoots out really quick. Yeah, but I don't think the controllers are that fast enough to knock anything in there like that. So that's going to be something I have to think about as well. Feeling I should just. Whoops. Where'd you go, Beebs? Think about it a little bit more, I think. Here. Boom. That actually worked out really well. I really think I should probably remove the bottom bricks in here. I know I wanted to make it look a little nicer than that, but in order to make this run smoother, I think I should. It's retracting quite slow for me. Another day problem, I guess. Okay. Up a little bit. Seriously, do I only have... Dang it. Believe me, at least this trap will be a lot easier to build than the last one, because I had to, like, basically run all the way around the building last time, and like, that was kind of a headache. Okay. How did I do this one? Remember only being one thick. Two. Yes, that's because the wheels. I don't remember. So this one actually has to be about that thick. We will not put that there. Oh, and I make that too close too. Mm-mm. Yep, made that too close. So this one on the bottom We'll reduce that to 3. We're going to have to move this whole thing up 1. Kind of don't want to break everything. Okay, so that's separated. And everything else is going to get moved up by 1, 2 as well. So, gotta keep that in mind. Rehook everything up too. Get this welds. Worried about there. Perfect. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Not the worst thing in the world. I think I do I want to move these wheels back though. Right. I do remember myself having the same problem last time. Me doing this. Still works. Beauty. Alright, so let's move these wheels back just a bit. So they're going to stay hidden. Because for me, that's kind of important. I am not one of those people who likes to see the mechanicals of everything. Like getting a Super Nintendo that's like clear. I never understood that. Getting a clear case Nintendo thing. Console. I think they did that for the Nintendo 64. I remember. I don't remember this being that. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that because the wheels are going to come off. Move that. Here. There. Always need more. Alright. And I'm going to have to be worried about robots coming in. So one gets attacked here, and then I have another slew of robots coming in. They're probably going to come in from behind. So I think I would have a solution for that actually. Is that I would just maybe put like one saw blade like right here spinning, right? And then put like a sensor right here, right? So when it detects it, it would just, this would come back and just annihilate them or whatever. So I did kind of think about that on my 4 days off from the last stream. And I think that's probably would be the solution for that. Because then they would just get killed quickly and nothing will get damaged and yada yada yada. So I think that would be my solution. I'm going to probably do the same on the other side as well. That I would just do it that way. This I don't think I need as thick. I don't know why I made that so thick. Maybe I just wanted them to get crushed a little bit more. Looking back on it doesn't make a lot of sense. Oops. We'll just redesign that. And I think I should do the 3. This doesn't need here. Okay. Flush. Here you, Dutopat. Get lost. Me alone, Topat. I'm busy. Got work to do. Get lost. Cool. That looks good. Better than it did before. I might have to readjust that one. Let's see where the mechanism starts. Goes there and there. What's that? 7. Sit down lower too. This. Anywhere to save blocks, I guess. Still don't think it needs to be that thick. Right. It's weird that I had it stop right there with the other one. I guess it really doesn't matter. Nope. Guy's gonna be able to balance off that. And there'll probably be so much force it would just push him in anyway. Alright, so that's done, that's done. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 15, I think. Probably could have just checked these ones. Yeah. Guess I could have just checked. What is going on here? Why is that so wonky? Why is that so wonky? Some extra blocks off? Once again, I think that's just a later problem, I think. Definitely looks a lot better than it did before. Anyway. Down there. That's perfect. I'm kind of wondering what I'm going to need for vacuums. Probably think about that. Basement. So, probably don't need metal block. We're probably okay with that. Actually, no, not really. And I could probably do all the farms with that. Circuit boards are definitely not an issue. I was definitely going to have to do some beeswax hunting. For sure. So right now I can only make 4. And I'm going to have to make... I got these ones, but I'm going to keep those there for that particular build. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4. So 20. I'm going to need 100 beeswax, I believe. Correct? Yeah. So I'm going to need 100 beeswax to create that build. And if I have enough pistons left... Oh yeah, that's another thing I'm going to have to make is pistons as well. The recipe for that. And then I have to fully upgrade them. It's always about the component kits. Yeah, and then I'm going to need crude oil, which is like whatever. Crude oil in my sleep. I might just take that thing and then put it over. I should actually bring that over to the other base so we can start producing crude oil and in a permanent gas solution. Well, it's not like I'm like running low on gas here anyway. There's so much gas, it's not funny. Yeah, we'll pass on that, I think. Okay. And then I kind of want to make it out of these again. And I think I'm running pretty low on metal. I haven't really been doing very much farming and or mining in the last long time. So I got 256 metal, so I should be able to do it. And I think it only takes like how many? 3? Yeah, I think I got enough. I know it's kind of like stupid to use those things to, like, I can easily just use blocks to accomplish the same thing. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna need more wheels too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 wheels, not including the ones I already have. I'm gonna need those, which is also gonna take more beeswax and wood. I think I'd have it on metal as well. Maybe I should start converting some of this metal. I don't have that many of those either. Maybe I should just go drilling. Yeah, I think I might just go mining. Mine some stuff out. Later. Not now. So we'll finish this trap right now. Now, the question is, should I have it lean this way? Actually, I'm going to have it lean this way. Because, can I? Yes, I can. I eliminate this. Use. I wonder if I have a lower level one, high level one. You know, I got a ton of those. Well, I'm gonna need a full one anyway. Okay. Kind of funny if I've like upgraded all these somewhere down the line. Or that's like level 1 or 2. Level 3 is like, I think my lowest tier one. It's kind of funny. Whatever, let's just start using them. Uh-huh. Here. Here. there. Off. That seems very off. Maybe I could just get away with 2 on this one anyway. Like, it's not like these guys are going to have anywhere to escape anyway. And it's going to be a pretty efficient kill trap to begin with. Not very much. It was like 15, I think. In the other way, probably 30. I'm impatient. Let's go faster. Oh yeah, that's like way too much. But also, 25. I just wanted enough for the items to fall out, but I don't want the bots to fall through because they might survive and then wreck stuff, right? So I don't want that to happen. Logic. Put this in. Did I put 2 sensors or just 1? Remember me only having to put 1. You know, it was only like 1 I had to put there. So let's think about this. Most likely they're going to be about right about there. Slap a full sensor on there. Now, 18, 17, 15, 12, 8. I think it might be actually 11. 10. Okay. Okay, so I don't even need logic. Just straight up hook in there. Right there. And we'll throw Justin in there and see what happens. No doubt in my mind this will actually work. Hey, where did Justin go anyway? There you are. Send Justin to his doom. Go and whoop, whoop. Oh, and I didn't put that on a loop. Yeah. Yeah, I do realize this is probably going to be a little bit laggy when they're getting jostled around like that, but once they're dead, it won't matter. 'Tis will not matter. Okay, so that's good. Really do have to think about what I'm going to do. The other one, I have a good idea. The side. But that's future slurps to figure out. Okay. So I think this trap should be a success. In you go. And you die. Yeah, and I might opposite the trap over here too. Because originally I was just going to have him stumble there. But thinking about it, I think it will make more sense for him to go this way. And I'm not going to worry about these vacuum pumps right now. I think really the metal is more important to collect. Actually, I might actually rob these. I'm going to need these chests too. Right? Yeah, I might just steal all this. Just so I could build the collection unit. And the other question is like where I start the collection. I think I might just have it right here, and I think I might have enough clearance to just do it on the other side. So I'm not going to worry about that. That's done. In my eyes, that's done. I do have to think about a way of collecting all the little parts and stuff like that automatically. And I'm thinking maybe I should leave the rails just wood here. So let's go steal everything here. Why not? Inventory. Yeah, there's good possibility I'm gonna move this thing somewhere else too. Okay. That. Need that. There's a level 1 right there. In time, I guess. Yeah, let's just move all this stuff. Because it's just going to get in the way. I think I should have a more permanent solution than this anyway. Gotta remember not to just delete everything on here too, because I still have that button hooked up. It is going to be on 2 separate buttons, though. I wish we could name the buttons. That would be nice. Easier. Especially when it comes down to doing stuff. You know, you build something and you just take it apart. Well, I do at least. I know that's my own personal pet peeve, but I gotta figure out what's the most efficient way of like building stuff. So that's always kind of what I'm always thinking about. What is the most efficient way? Like I've already had a trap under there, and it was working okay, but had a lot of flaws to it. And I'm just thinking of more efficient ways to build this, basically. I'm still learning. It's important, especially with this game. Back up anyway. Not that hard. Just have to hook them up all to the pistons or whatever. Yeah, do I have any Yeah. That's important. Okay, so let's create the auto pickup system. Should probably get rid of some of the stuff that we're not going to need. I don't think we're going to need those yet. We will need them eventually. Food could probably put away up here. Let's see. Okay. I think that's my center. Yeah, these do I need? Too many, but who cares? Could always get more stuff. Parts. Gotta make sure that this doesn't get too packed up. Alright. Let that run for a bit. Right. We'll just work on the one for now. Guess I could probably build it higher as well. That's a thought. More. Guess we'll have to trigger a raid just to make sure it works too. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of metal. Yeesh. Yeesh. Also, I should think about a way of getting in here too. Well, I guess I could make one on the opposite where it plants stuff. And then we could put our seeds over here. We could just load up 2 chests or whatever to plant seeds. And the other way we'll have it where it just picks up all the stuff. The other simple way is doing it is just reversing the vacuum manually, that or whatever. But once again, another thing I future me has to figure out. Okay. Yep. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. So I should have enough pipes that I could use them. Well, maybe I might not. Who knows? I keep on saying that I'm gonna have all this extra stuff that I could do this in, and I never do, and I have to make it. I know I have 2 wheels somewhere, so that's kind of important. Let's see if we have 2 wheels. Back in the basement. 2 wheels, okay. 2 bearings. Got these. I'll take those. Okay. And we will do the same design. Top. We start with 2 blocks. And 2 corner pieces. Okay. This one, for some reason, I have no problem like memorizing. It's so simple. It's like I know other people would probably use logic for this, but I don't see the point. This goes like that. That goes like this. It goes like that. 2 down. Like that. No, there's like a space apart between the 2. Okay. Uh, yeah, I think we need to make this higher. So I'm thinking it has to be here, I think. Right there. That's where I think that has to be. Whatever. Uh-huh. Yeah, because I'm thinking about how much droop I'm gonna get from the vacuums themselves. Plus, I have to think about the mechanism, the collection as well. So there has to be some chests to collect it as well. So it's not exactly like that design, because that would be foolish to think it is, because you still have to think of what components that go with it. Definitely the wheels will help with stabilization. Okay, so up here. If you don't have a weld tool, you're not playing scrap mechanic right. For the record, that has to be higher. A little bit higher. Yeah, because I want it to be kind of exactly the pumps to be parallel with these ones. I'm having second thoughts now. If I should even be using these. I still have to attach these to it. Maybe I might use these as a way to as my stabilizers. Maybe instead of this bar. Well, let's just stick with this one and see where it takes us. The only problem with this collection system is it's going to be very bulky. I think that's probably the biggest drawback of it. That is, oh, that's like perfect. It's going to like clear everything, I think. Or I can have it running lower and have it more like a mowing kind of thing. So instead of having beams that go across this, I have it just this way and then have those pointing that way. I think I'll do it that way. It makes more sense to me that way. So we'll just take this, put that right there. Right. We'll finish off this design first. These, that. I have a sensor. Of course I don't. Where's my sensor? We're on one of these high sensors, I guess. like I need a high power sensor. Keep on making that mistake, I guess. There. And this. That. 2 wheels. Yeah, I'm kind of doing it this way because I want to make sure putting the right height on this. Actually, this still gonna have to have a beam here because it still have to have these sensors on there, I guess. But it'll have to be opposite, I think. Have to be turned the other way. This. Oops. Okay. Then we put in the. There, that's better. That makes sense. Right? And like I said, we're going to have that moment, actually. Yeah. Where's my burgers? So, more of those. There, that makes sense. Okay. Now I have to have it pointing out this way. Oh, yeah. Still might need the bars underneath it a little bit so this can clear. Didn't think about that. Possibility that this may have came to my advantage design wise. Not. Okay. This. That. Okay. I don't want that flip the other way so we know what angle this is coming at. Right, is it narrower this way? Taller. Hmm. Might have to do it that way. Maybe. First world problems. How to fix stuff in scrap mechanics. Very first world problem. It's. Whoops. Hmm. That's cutting it very close. Wonder. Like I said, am I getting more clearance the opposite way? This way? That doesn't seem like it's lining up anymore. It looks almost like it's the same width, one way or another. That's what it looks like to me. So this. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether or not I'm gaining anything doing it this way. I think the one thing I am going to probably gain out of it is that I can see which way the arrows are pointing. I think that would be the only advantage. Now, for efficiency wise, I don't know if it's going to clear all 5 plots because they don't. It's not like these ones as you seem like they just line up. And these ones, I don't know if they'll line up because it is a little off, but also because it's a batter design, which is a possibility. Then how high do I make it? That's the other question. Okay, so we're about, say, 5 blocks. 5. So from here, so about there is where our starting point is. And also, I have to think about the big fat bum I have to put on this. So I could put one chest here, one chest here. Actually, maybe I might got lucky on that one. I don't know. We'll see. No, definitely did not get lucky. So this might have to go in. I have to make 3 chests, maybe. Yeah, because I was hoping I would just have to just make one chest like here, and then I could here. I just have to put one vacuum pump to another. I didn't get that lucky. Probably put a vacuum pump there, possibly a shorter straight piece there. Means I need clearance in the back right there. And I'm gonna need one more chest to make this work too. That's the other thing. Or I think I could get away with just two. So I'll have one hook up here and then maybe one hook into the center. Or, yeah, well, we're gonna have to use two possibly anyway, so it really does not matter which way I go. I think I might just make these come out farther. Straight piece. There. This might be really super expensive. Actually, kind of looks better too. If I do it this way. This one. Definitely gonna have to be a shorter piece there. Just one hair short for that one. Same with this one. Or for symmetry wise, we might just put a long one here and have it. I better not worry about symmetry. Let's just make this work. Okay. Should hook all of it up, and now we only have to use two of those, which is okay. That's need. Okay. I should have brought that out. One more. Out one more. So let's do that. Actually, looking at it now, they line up. So, huzzah! I might change that too. I think I might have it pointing the other way. Possibly. Two more of these. Okay. That. this out. Put one more back under there. Set up. We'll see. Let me up. Here. Yeah, plus I want to see how high it looks. Just move that back one. I don't mind that being a little bit higher, to be honest. It won't really matter. See how high it is. Where I have to put my rails. Yeah, because it's like sagging, isn't it? Not by much. I might get lucky and just be able to slide these in there. Go. Alright, see? There's a will, there's a way. See how high that is. Now, am I going to have to move this back just one? Because I do notice that this is almost right over our first plot here. And we might have to move this design just back one, which is not super mega problem. Duck this up to 1. And just see if it clears that. Okay, it does clear it, so that's good. Okay. Alright, I think that's should work. We'll probably have to just do a small potato raid. I might have some guys coming down right there, but we'll be downstairs anyway, and we'll have a shotgun. I'm not too worried about that. Don't think... Yeah, we're just almost... We'll do that right after midnight. Wait a couple seconds, because if I start planning now, I'm going to have that raid instantly happen. And this is more of a test whether or not this is going to collect it all. Reminds me, I wonder if this will plant for me. Not gonna hurt. Actually, it's not because it doesn't have anything to activate. Yeah, so probably not. This is just strictly for collecting. Yeah, this is just to see whether or not it will collect. It means we have to come up with the mechanism for collecting. And bungled that up a little bit. This. Uh, have it pointing down. Actually, no, we'll have it pointing up because we'll just utilize these ones to. We already got the. That whole thing is already set up anyway. So we have the detector detect upwards. We won't see that it has to. There, so we're using this as double duty basically. That's growing. Fix this crap. And the other thing I'm gonna have to think about. Okay, so I always have a problem with tote bots in here, constantly spawning. So I'm gonna have to bulk up the defenses in the back here. I don't want them destroying chests. Those are not cheap things. I don't really care about the wood and stuff like that. That can get wiped out. Yep. Go. Wife was not subtle at all. Right, so I was watching a few streamers, and man, sometimes they just create the most amount of noise in the back. Like I like to try to keep it as quiet as I can. May not be beneficial all the time for me. All right, all these I think are just change the change of it. Now, is it going to be better just to have it constantly on, or is it better just to have a mechanism that can detect when it needs to go? And I will. So I gotta put this, and I will put on the slowest setting that I could possibly put it. Just because I want it to take its time going across and collecting everything. Because I notice in some other people's builds, if you go too fast with the vacuums, they won't get the materials that it will. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to come up with a door of some sort to come in through this way. I don't want to constantly hop over these fences. I'm not going to be able to do it from here. I'm going to have to do the duck or whatever. When you put this on, you can see where all the random tote heads are. Need to find tote heads. See some like way out in the distance. And you see my collection of them way over there. Hmm. Do I have enough ammo? He should probably load up. Maybe close some of the doors. Alright, and I should probably... Like, I don't see it doing any sucking action. Oh, that's because I probably haven't... Probably why. Did I put something in there? Oh, I did put spuds in there. You're shooting spuds. Hmm. I want to put that on a button. Oh, it's detecting that one up there. Detect that. Three? I think the magic number is... Yeah, because it's detecting that wheel above it. I think that's 3 to there. At least I think it is. Yeah, here's the other problem. I can't even see whether it's in suck mode or blow mode. Guess I won't know until... Oh, yeah. Up there. Okay. This one I cannot see though. Guess we'll find out when we harvest. The hardest part is trying to figure out when... If this is actually going to work. And I don't mind making a lot of vacuums for this to work. So if I was going to make a seed spitter, I think the challenge would be to... Like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know whether or not it would work if I just dump the seed in there. Right? But then I have to manually change all these. And seeing that middle one is kind of a pain in the butt. I'm just wondering if it would just be... I think it would just be easier just to make a second one on the top. Like, what's the distance that I would need in order to do that? Well, I wouldn't have clearance in here anyway. This is already, like, kind of pushing the limit of that. Actually, think about it. I could just attach a vacuum up on these ones right here using the same device. See, here's the other thing is that I have to... It won't be too hard to do it. And I would have to just... All I would have to do is just maybe move this back like 3 or 4. And then have to add another piston to compensate for that. So I'll reach the end. Like the only reason why this farm is this wide because this is the maximum of how far the pistons can go. So that's a thought. Or I can have them in behind. And that would have less room to do that. Right? Yeah, but the problem with that one is that the middle one, and you have to use these stupid vacuum things. So I would have to like kind of redesign it. I guess I would have to have this middle piece maybe come up a little bit more so we can get these tubes in the back basically to attach to the chest or whatever. Why did they choose chests? Just like, well, Minecraft did it. We might as well do it ourselves. Do the chest thing. I don't think they should have done that. I think they should have come up with their own thing to put stuff in. I guess this will have to do for now. Like I would think they would have been better if they would have came up with like one of these and then have it like those chests. So more of a locker. I think that would have been a better design. It would have made sense for the game and the world. Okay, well, we're waiting. We'll just mess around with this. That symmetry I was talking about earlier. Too tall. That looks a little bit better. A little bit more sense. In like 12 minutes. Oh my god. As I wish we could just speed up time with this. I do have a bunch of actually, for the time being, let's build. I think on that side, I'm going to build the place where we're going to put all our seeds because I already have all my stuff right here. So why not? And we'll kind of make it like a shack too. I think these might actually be in my way now for what I want to build. I have no idea why I even bother keeping these. It's kind of pointless. It's not like I'm going to do anything. I feel like you could take this to a packing station. I think there's a lot of things that we could probably take to the packing station and get different stuff for. This is definitely one of those things that people probably have accumulated and decided they don't need anymore. I feel like you should be able to trade all this and get like, a stack of like metal blocks or something. Yeah, because these are like renewable resources. So is like metal as well. 10 more minutes. We got lots of time. Lots of time. Lots of time to build stuff. Start that. And I don't foresee myself getting any more than this. The seeds are kind of like overkill now. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep all the lower tier fruit, high tier fruit, different levels, and the vegetables as well. I also kind of want to make this like my controller. So if I do need to like harvest, this is where I'm going to be pressing the button for all that to happen. Beets. Tomato. Alright, I just want to kind of leave a little room. Like a little 3x3. Maybe 4. Block room for like the command center, basically to control all this stuff. Ready. Apple. No, I don't think I've ever made like tier 3 wood before. Utes. Okay. Ah, too wide. Uh, Okay. Okay. Alright, grow, damn it. Maybe I should just hit it. Oop. Maybe on the safe side, we should probably just temporarily close this off. Oh, Justin Bieber's out there. Come back, Justin. We miss you. Damn it. Get back inside. Not going to be used today. I think that side's covered. I'm going to use this in a bit. I don't like that button there. We'll have to change that. Also, I don't like how I can't really see out of this thing either. Got 4 minutes. Let's move all this stuff down here. Just for now. 4 minutes to kill somehow, right? I don't know how. We'll kill 4 minutes. I think we'll need all this. Yeah, even after all the traps, I'm thinking, even if we get this all sorted out, I think we're gonna still have like a lot of room down here. Like I have all this room. Could probably build the bedroom down here if I wanted to. Temporary bedroom or temporary kitchen or whatever. Storage. Yes. Kind of like having my storage a little bit closer so when I need to build something, it's up here. I wanted to have all my storage more closely over here. I think I will get rid of this staircase though. Honestly, I don't even use it. Now this whole contraption right here is going to be in the way. So, oh, there we go. Wait till it's fully growing. This will go. Yeah, almost all of it's done. 3 more minutes. Get close. Getting down in the nitty gritty. And yeah, I think it's also we have to start thinking about more permanent solutions for things. Yeah, and this picker is only going to be really good for when everything is fully grown. Fully grown it? No, I got 1, 2, 3 left. Looks of it. It's gonna happen first. Alright, it's already. Let's see if this works. Ooh, did not grab the first row. Did, however, grab all the other rows. So, this is going to have to come back just a bit. And I don't think it will make that big of a difference, to be honest. Because I think you only need to have the front of this hit roughly about right there. So yeah, if we move this back, let's see, maybe even just 2 or 3. I'll be okay. Eliminate these two. Yeah. Feel like I shouldn't be doing this just before a raid. Even though we got 9 seconds left, 3 seconds. Popping. Tiny raid anyway. We might get a couple hay bots. There's somebody banging away at my... Oh! Someone got theirs in the back. That worked. The hay bot. Yeah. Oh, I knew this was gonna happen. I really gotta fix that. I think. No bueno. So I see a problem. And this has happened twice. This has happened twice where I've had bot's arm sticks in there. So that's not good. That's actually quite annoying. Inventory false. Stupid. Okay. Stupid bot arm. Not good. Sorry, I'm just thinking on how to fix this. I have an idea, but I kind of don't like the idea of it. And my idea is to have another set of pistons that actually curtains. He like really messed that up. Hmm. Okay, there's another bot around here. It's supposed to be attacking my thing, but he can't. Can't because he didn't spawn in a good spot. Yeah. So, how to fix this? Yeah, that bot didn't. The best thing about using these bricks is that they're going to attack those bricks. They're going to be a lot cheaper than replacing those sensors. Because you always attack the weakest thing there. It's always those bricks. Stack. Kind of a cheap fix when you really think about it. But I really want to do something about things slipping in there, and I don't like that. Now, I have a theory. I don't know if this actually works. Never know. But I was going to have to do this anyway. Well, for a saw blade. Like, I was thinking of having to put the saw blade in behind there. But I was wondering, the saw blade works in such a fashion that it may not detect sideways. X. That detects, that's for sure. That's out of the question. Yeah, and then you can just have a rotating saw blade in behind there. If anybody gets in behind, they'll get annihilated. Yeah, and I want it to be this height too. That's the other thing. I really do want it this height because I don't want it to be any other height. Looking at this, why that's so slanty. I have no idea why. Could be just because of like one of these blocks are colliding, possibly. Fortunately, I had to make this like the longest one. Things to consider. Really don't like how, like that would just totally just jams up the. The funny thing is that this doesn't actually affect me in any way, shape, or form, which is like kind of bizarre in its own way. Like, it's a trap that I cannot be hurt by, which I kind of like, but bots do. I think it's just because of this gap, but also that gap is probably the reason why things are not working correctly. I wonder. I think that would make it. They put a saw blade underneath here, something like that. I really don't think that would make any difference. I think it's just gonna be one of those. See, the other one that got stuck here was like through the sensor, which I thought was also kind of really fluky. So, yeah, I didn't like how fluky that was. And how fluky it went through this thing, too. Maybe I put something in front of it. Like this. Maybe underneath it. Kind of like a way of protecting that, maybe. I'll have to figure that out next week. Definitely have to think about that next week. Right. Yeah, definitely one's going to fill up faster than the other as well, but. Hmm. Got too much stuff in my inventory. Again, as usual. Where are we at? Away. Fill up our inventory and then throw the rest of the seed. Two of these, I think three. Out. Don't need them. Yeah, so I think that I would say is successful. Now, is I think I already know the answer to this. I don't think it's going to be enough room to extend all the way to the end. And this actually might not. Might. Oh no. This is kind of like off, I think. Found another problem that I can easily solve. So it might not even suck up the first thing here, so we'll just go right here. And this only detects to one, so this one won't even detect this one, but this one will. And I think there's enough clearance for us to do that as well. And like I said, we'll make a big command center for this. Because at this point for farming, it's just yes, perfect. Okay, no adjustments needed. Yeah, yeah, because eventually we'll have to have like an auto seeder as well. Have that on the top. Then again, we'll just have to move this back a little bit. Probably about the same amount back that way. And this seating will take you all the way down. Here's another problem though. So I think we'll have to may have to have two different things to seed. I think. Anyway, we have the design for this, so that's okay. So all I have to do is just shadow that one and then put it on this side this way. We're gonna need lots of chests. I think I got enough tubes, so I'm not worried about how many tubes I have. Not too worried about that. Gonna need vacuums and tubes, and that's probably gonna take a lot of components. Even just to make the chest for those, that's still gonna be a lot of components. And a lot of glue too. A lot of glue, a lot of components, a lot of metal too. I'll run out of metal before I get even halfway done for the large chest. You know, they have a large chest, and this is just a chest. What about a small chest that have just like one of those in there? I think they'll put those in there eventually. So, anyway, I'm gonna call it a day because frustrated or anything, but there's a lot of things I have to like consider, and I kind of don't want to burn myself out on scrap mechanic anymore. So, anyway, I think that's enough. So I'll see you in the future. Have a good one. Laters.